Roman city and feel that you are a visitor of the central marketplace of the Roman city. So as the marketplace has shops, has shrines, has political buildings, administration, which means many people around. And these people get thirsty, right? So that means we need what?
A fountain.
Not one, two fountains.
Two fountains.
So the first one and the oldest one is the fountain of Glafki. And Glafki is the name of a local mythical princess. The daughter of a king of Corinth, is very pretty, and everybody wants her to marry her. But she is in love with Jason. You remember Jason
and
from
the Argonauts.
Excellent. Tiny little problem. Jason was already married to Medea. Medea was that sorcerer who helped Jason during the expedition.
So Danny just taught us that we're sitting in Corinth, ancient Corinth, which sits between the Aegean Sea and I forgot the name of the other sea, I'll have to look it up. But the interesting thing is it's a port town, and when they came in, they had to pay homage to the temple of Aphrodite. And Temple Aphrodite is no longer here, but you can kind of see up on the top up there. I don't know if you can see that. There used to be a temple up there, and the sailors would walk all the way up there, and there were 1,000 mistresses, or they were called priestesses, where if you paid them money, they would reward you with you know what. But back then, oldest occupation in the world, but they didn't want women to be raped or kidnapped by sailors that had been on sea for months and months and months. So they actually had them pay homage to the temple of Aphrodite, to which the priestesses would then perform for the men. So this fountain isn't like the Trevi fountain. This fountain is the water would flow through and people would put their bucket into the wells there to get the water. Correct, Danny?
Correct. Excellent.
So 6th century BC, the Romans destroyed Corinth.
No.
Oh,
The Romans destroyed Corinth in the 2nd century BC, before Christ, okay? Totally destroyed, except from the temple of Apollo, because Apollo was one of their favorite gods anyway. But the rest of the city, all in ruins, and it was abandoned for approximately 100 years before Julius Caesar rediscovers the city, understands how strategic the location of Corinth is, and rebuild it from scratch.
Isn't it amazing that last year in Italy, we learned that the oldest part of Italy was really around Julius Caesar's time? And that's like young time. That's like, hey, that's modern times. You know, Caesar came here. This was, but Corinth was like 600 BC, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was a very powerful city even back in the 60s.
Okay, cool. Kept me honest, thank you. I'm pretty sure someone invented the wheel right there. Or you put a pole in there. I'm just saying, you know, because I just told the story of how the sailors would go up to the top and they'd give their they'd give their money to the priestesses. The priestesses would then perform for them.
A Greek community, a Jewish community, and it was a port city, so people from all around the world would come in Corinth. So the Corinthian audience can be more receptive because they are used to new ideas coming from all around the world. That's the reason why Genius Paul came here in Corinth, because he knows that he will have a receptive audience.
At the temple of Apollo. That is beautiful. That's really cool.
Also the idea that the gods are immortal, so their houses have to be immortal. It happened. So early 6th century BC, the Corinthians tried to build a beautiful temple all out of stone, local stone. Usually the temples are in pieces like
And then they put them together.
But this is a different case. You can tell.
This is so awesome. She's gonna think I'm Japanese with my selfie stick.
30-minute nap and you're all...
Oh my goodness, you can get super close. My selfie stick will touch it. I'm gonna get Danny kicked out of the official tour business. You're gonna lose your license, Danny. This is so cool. Chris, this is cool, isn't it?
It is 600 BC.
600 BC. Is that true?
It is true, yeah.
Okay, good. See?
See, you see all these walls? So in order to make it look,
This isn't cheap. It's lasted so long.
it lasts so long because of the techniques they found. So the first they use the cheap material inside, and then they
Danny,
coat
I don't
it
believe Danny. She
covered
says
it.
it's cheap.
with marble
Right.
dust as a
Yeah.
stucco in order to secure it.
I don't
This
believe
is
her.
Genius. That's why it is preserved for so
Says
long.
it's cheap.
The material
How
is
can
cheap.
it be cheap if it's lasted 2,800 years?
Because it's sacred.
Do you realize in the United
Apollo
States,
protects
do you realize our shit doesn't last 20 years? Chris, you educate her now on Minneapolis. You be the tour guide. Tell her. Tell her about our stadiums.
It's falling apart.
Chris is seriously giving Danny, he's giving our guide the business around Minneapolis. And he's going to pull out his PayPal and Venmo soon because he wants a
So
tip.
there is no other solution.
I told her in advance to not tip him. Let's see. Let's see what she does.
Okay. Well, anyway.
And Chris, no, we cannot go up to the Temple of Aphrodite today.
Yeah, why not?
Besides, I don't have any money to give her a tip
Oh,
anyways.
I can borrow you some money.
So I can give the
But
priestess.
you walk all the way up.
You walk all the way up to see the
Yes.
priestess.
Yes. Are you gonna do that?
I think it's worth it.
Okay.
Sometimes you gotta work for these things. My wife's gonna watch this and go, "You are such an idiot." Okay, I'm such a geek, but watch, I'm walking on marble that was laid down in 600 years before Jesus. This is so crazy. I'm so excited. You can see the ocean over there by Danny and Chris. Yeah, we are sitting in a port.
They shaped the stones in the quarries. This is very interesting. What happened in ancient times, they connected the two seas with a very long 6 kilometers road called the Olcos. So when the boats arrived from the west, they stopped in Corinth for a little while. Then they put them on rollers and they dragged them to the other side in order to go to the Aegean Sea. And in that way, they saved money and time instead of doing the round of the Peloponnese.
No
And
canal.
they charged big money for that.
So the two seas were the Aegean Sea and the Ionian Sea. Ionian.
Correct.
Okay, correct.
So just like a modern day canal.
Yes, yes, but they did it, through the art. They didn't have it at all. Yeah, yeah.
You can see the ocean. You can see the Ionian Sea right there. And these, what was here? Houses?
Workshops. This spot was full of workshops. And
Workshops.
We're stopping here because it is said, we cannot be 100% sure about that somewhere around here we have the workshops of the tent makers of Corinth. And why do we need tents in Corinth? Because every 4 and later every 2 years they organize athletic competitions, very popular ones, the Isthmian Games, and people from all around the world, the known world, will come to compete. And both of them were tent makers, and Paul worked for them as a tent maker.
So he probably
Most
worked right
probably
here.
in the area around here, exactly.
So these are where all the tent makers worked.
At the same time.
So Apostle Paul, when he came here,
No,
Paul was like 50, 80.
Yeah.
Okay.
So Paul would come here and work with the tent makers. And they had tent makers because they used to have a lot of games here. Yeah, you're right, Chris. The Colosseum was 70s.
Yeah, so about the same time.
About the time. Yep. You're right.
So we have 1, 2,
that's the main entrance to get in.
The main entrance is
Right
from here.
Right here.
Yes, to get inside. And the colonnade surrounding the temple, and inside there was a building with probably the statue of Apollo. Beautiful roof.
I bet it was beautiful.
And it overlooked ancient Corinth.
So this would be the Corinthian Agora.
Yes. There is a very nice representation.
It's been here for a while.
That's been there for a couple thousand years.
Yeah.
You can sit on it. No one's gonna yell at you.
No, it looks good. See the curvature in it.
Yep. Somebody crafted that. Somebody made that.
Second years.
This is so cool.
Parking lot area, we have an Odeon, which is for musical concerts, and we have a theater, the open air place.
So where's the fountain?
The fountain that we saw is here.
13?
Yes.
Okay, I see the
number
fountain.
13. Yes.
And that was
And we did the round.
where it should
And that
be.
is the shopping center with the road that we
So we should be right around.
at the moment.
Yeah.
We are here. We're
That's
standing right here.
awesome.
And in front of us, we have the big open space of the Roman Forum.
That is the Roman
Public
Forum.
area, yes.
Right there.
Corinthian Agora.
And then the Corinthian Agora. Greek Agora. Man, this is so cool.
And there was another road
That goes up to the
exactly
to the priestesses.
to the priestess, but also another road that goes down to Saint-Free port, to
What
the
a-
other port.
This was a beautiful city or town.
It's
Very-
only 1/10 of the overall site that has been excavated so far.
Oh, so but this is 100% of what it was.
Yes,
Okay.
in the Roman era, yes.
In the Roman era. And so the tent makers where Paul was were right.
We think they were around here,
Okay.
the workshops. We have the Greeks and the Jewish
Yeah.
who are not full citizens of the
Of
Roman
Roman.
Republic, yes, but they have the right to own businesses and live their life and worship their gods as they.
Where do you think you would have written Corinthians? Was that here or later?
Later. After he founded the first church of Corinth and left Corinth, then he wrote these letters to them, 4 in total, but they combined into 2 letters,
Yeah.
in order to give them guidelines about how to live their lives.
Got
Because
it.
they had the same people, he approached the Gentiles, right? So one day they're pagans, they're
Yeah.
ready to do the transformation, they're ready to do the change, and next week they're Christians. And they have many questions. What things should I change from my previous life? I used to go in the Roman Forum or in the Agora, whatever, and I used to eat the meat from the sacrificial animals. Is still okay with that? I used to do this and that.
Yeah.
Is still okay with that? So Paul needed a guideline list for them to see how they can live their lives as good Christians.
So basically, what she said in synopsis is the first letters of Corinthians was written back to his first church first commune, first church, first disciples of Apostle Paul that were here after he left. Then he would write them letters on how they could or should live their life based upon the Christian understanding of Jesus. Correct?
Correct. Excellent.
God,
You aced it.
amazing. I'm going to tip myself. I can see the water pipes. So this wasn't for water. This was part of the roof.
No. Yes. And this is a random rain.
I'd guess. It's Corinthian style, but I don't remember why.
The inspiration for this style was, according to legend, we cannot be sure about that, started from Corinth. What I mean is that there was an architect who was traveling to somewhere else, and on his travels he stopped here in Corinth to meet a friend, and he heard that the friend's daughter had died, so they went to the cemetery to pay homage to the dead girl. And there it was customary to offer to the dead flowers and leaves, etc. So he notices a basket with acanthus leaves. Acanthus is a bush that grows wild everywhere in Greece, especially in winter time. And the leaves are very large and they go out.
Oh, beautiful. Okay.
So, and he was inspired by that, and he decided to combine the Ionic style with the scrolls, etc., with another style full of flowers and acanthus leaves. And this is how
I was just asking Danny if it's appropriate for me to go see the priestess, and she said if it's for religious reasons, then she's not going to judge me. We're in the judge-free zone to visit the priestesses. 100,000 people live here.
Because I was just comparing the size of this to the Agora I saw.
Yeah, this is way bigger than the one in Athens.
of the time, yes. Roman era, Corinth was bigger than
Do you know when they excavated? Yeah.
For those that are wondering, I'm walking through the Roman Forum, and yes, Apostle Paul did walk where I'm walking. It's a proven statement. We're in the Roman Forum.
scary, eh?
Yeah, what's going on with those two? So this is the shop for you to make your own statue. I am so inspired. I'm gonna go make one. I'm gonna make one of Uncle Chris, and it's gonna be a big paos. And then I'm gonna do one for me that looks like a Roman god.
Forums is a platform where important people stood on the top addressed to the public. They're Jewish, and then he said to them, it's not something that affects the city. It's not something that it provokes a problem to the Roman authorities. It's up to you. So Paul doesn't need to say a word. There is no case here.
So
Bye-bye.
Paul was dragged up
Yes.
there,
By the Jewish.
and it was Seneca's brother that said there's no problem here.
Yes, Galileo.
I didn't know that. I'm sorry to hear that.
I have a 6-year-old and a 10-year-old.
Well,
How worse can it be?
My maturity stopped at age 13. How about you?
Yes, your maturity stopped at age 13.
What survives?
Okay, so this was the church years later.
Yeah.
And they don't care because they let us walk on it.
People worked on it anyway.
The altar.
There is always a barrier in the altar. I don't know, have you been?
How cool is
I
this?
think this suits you better than the previous one. That's this body.
Just gonna sit on the
because
pillar.
you're also tall.
How old is this pillar I'm sitting on?
2,000-year-old?
This pillar's 2,000 years old, Uncle Chris.
There you go.
Frisco, hang out on this column.
So he said to them, we do the same thing, we run like the athletes with big focus on Christianity, but in the end, what we will learn as Christians is the unperishable wreath. So there was a very beautiful mosaic showing an athlete wearing the perishable wreath. It's very brilliant what Paul did. He used images that people recognize and transform them into Christian ideas. And that's the reason why he became so popular. And Christianity is the main religion now.
I don't know. It's the basis of a column to be higher up. It's the original pavement.
And I'll show you one of the oldest surviving.
But the tagline or the punchline is right behind us is where Paul was taken before the Roman judge for his alleged crime of introducing a new god, and it was determined that he did nothing wrong, and they let him go. Correct, Danny? I aced it. I got an A-. Nice. That's what Demos used to say yesterday. He never gave me an A. He always gave me an A-. Hey, Danny, there's a theme here, though. It's early Christians would create churches on top of places where events were. So just like in Israel,
Yes.
they have a church on top of where Jesus was crucified and where he was buried. There's
Yes.
churches there now.
Yes,
Similar
yes.
thing.
It's the same thing. Let's wander a little bit. This is the upper part of the other workshops.
Is there a McDonald's here? Anywhere?
Actually, yes. Not exactly McDonald's, but
They-
Corinth, yes, they had.
They had fast food.
Fast food.
This looks
Maybe.
like you could create some food down there.
Well,
Oh, that's a well for water?
yes.
Oh, okay.
You're a drone?
You hear a drone?
Thank
I hear something too. No, it's a golf cart. I see it. It sounded like a drone. Bruce was right.
That's it.
What?
That's the road.
That's the road.
Yes.
Right in front of us. That's the
Yes.
road to the port.
The original one.
The original road to the port. Wow.
Right and left, we have shops, latrines, and another fountain, the biggest one.
Wow, the biggest fountain is right there.
Pirini fountain. You come here, you'll see the water comes from the mountain. And if we stop talking for a minute, you can still hear the sound of the water. You hear it? Other times the sound is stronger.
This is a huge fountain. Wow.
Tragic story again.
Another tragic one.
Yes. Pirini was a nymph, a water nymph, and she had a son. And the son liked to play into the woods where Artemis was. And one day Artemis, the goddess of hunting. She was hunting in the woods, and she thought she saw an animal, and she struck him with one strike. Whatever was dies, and what it was, the son of
The
Pirini.
sun.
So Pirini comes all the way down here where the body is, grabs him and started crying and crying and crying, and in the end, she was transformed into a spring. That's why we have Pirini fountain.
I'm walking on 2,600, 2,500.
2,000, yeah, that's 2,600 years.
I'm walking on pavement from 2,600 years ago. The ancient road, the oldest road in Greece. I'm walking on. It goes to from the port into Corinth, and I'm walking barefoot on a road that's 2,600 years old. That feels so good. Do you know how many stories are on here? How many people have walked on this?
Or you had for the slave to sit on their particular area.
Warm it up.
Warm it up. Waiting for them whenever they were ready to come and sit and do their job.
So slaves would warm the toilets for them. That's awfully kind of them. When we say slaves, we're not talking...
In the Roman era, we're talking about slaves.
But
Greek era, it's a very different concept.
But in the
Slave.
Roman era of slaves, it was just anybody that they conquered, right? It wasn't
Correct.
based upon nationality, color. It was like anybody.
Correct, yes.
Okay. Oldest road in Greece. I got to walk the oldest road in Greece. One of the oldest.
One, yeah, still preserved.
Still preserved. I saw the trepidation in your voice, which means I was exaggerating. Get in here. Underground water system that the Romans built.
Because, it's a central marketplace, so
They needed water
water, yeah.
and sewage.
And the only thing you need is a wooden platform to roll it. So just put it up.
The ancient road system. Roads.
Where we're going, we don't need roads.
We know that the Jews were here since BC before Christ, but we haven't discovered many where their synagogues were, these ancient Jews that were. However, here in Corinth, there is a difference. So we discovered this inscription. What is missing from the first part is the phrase Sina, and then it's a G, and then it's an O, and then it's a G and I, Sina Voyi. And can you read it for me? Hebrew.
Evre?
Hebreos in Greek means the Jew.
Evreos means
Yes,
Jew.
yes. So that is the inscription over the synagogue of the Jews. And also decoration, the nearby.
Oh, sure.
We haven't discovered the exact location, but since this is here, we know for sure that they had a thriving community of Jews here. That's why Paul was here. in
That's
the
why
first
Paul
place.
was here.
A Roman workshop of.
Factory.
Yeah,
It's-
and
it's a Roman
Yeah,
factory.
Yeah.
I get one made. Chris, I get one made for you too.
Okay.
So it's the never-ending river. Versace stole that for their glasses. You're gonna have to look at that later, but you can see it's a never-ending river. Hey Vicky, it's like at the cabin. You got this circle of friends.
But this would be the track that you were
Yes.
looking at.
Exactly.
Please not blow them. We got a bust of Caesar
This
here.
is Lucius, this is Augustus, this is Hadrian without a head,
Poet Meander. Apollo. It's the head of Dionysus.
and then we just
Chris, you and that guy kind of look alike. bearded man. I see the resemblance. She's holding a baby owl. Just a normal guy. Living his day. This was found in 1 BC, so it means before Jesus was alive. This portrait of a man. You know, I'm totally offended by this guy.
As a student, when I came here, that's the first thing I noticed.
Look at this ancient guy is giving me the ancient bird.
Christianized.
Okay. It's Christian graffiti?
Yes.
Christian graffiti.
Theater is the word for drama, for theatrical
Tragedy.
play, but also the structure, the actual building, the venue. And it's always a semicircle.
So this is theater, not amphitheater.
Exactly. But most of you... No, I don't want to say that on the camera.
This is not an amphitheater, it's a theater because it's only a half circle. An amphitheater is a full circle. That's the theater for plays,
Yes.
and the other
That's
theater
the
was
theater for concerts.
for concerts.
Yes.
For music was over here.
This is the roof.
The roof would have been different.
This one had the roof.
This one had the roof,
Yes, had the roof.
and on top of the mountain, the cliff used to be the temple of Aphrodite.
I think you'll never forget this.
I will never forget that story. I'm gonna read all about it.
Great thing.
He came here?
Yes, in Corinth.
What? Alexander the Great's been
Yes,
to Corinth?
of course.
Alexander the Great's
Confirm-
been here.
To confirm the deal his father had done with the Corinthians and the other allied cities from the Peloponnese.
This was very large and
No,
built around
because of this. That's the port of Saint-Crier, and this is the port that St. Paul sailed from when he finished with his trip and he went back to Palestine.
So we're looking at the ancient port of Corinth here, and this is where Apostle Paul set sail to go back to Palestine. What was this?
And they built a church to mark the departure of Paul from Greece.
So
And
what-
this is what a basilica, an early Christian church, and this is what survived. Oh, nicely reconstructed.
So,
from
so this
Martin.
church was to commemorate the fact this is
Yes,
where he left to
yes,
go back to
exactly.
Palestine.
Exactly. He left a very
So this church is about 400 years after Christ, and it was built right here on the. I just forgot what I was going to say. So this church is about what's left of this church is from the original 400 AD. It's kind of new, actually. It's only 1600, 1700 years old, but this was built where the original port where Paul left to go to Palestine.
The port is underwater now, but do you see the edge over there?
Yeah.
So imagine an imaginary line to the end of this. There is another branch here. So we were inland.
So we're inland right now. So basically what you're saying is the port is buried under the sea right now. Let's get on our scuba gear, man. Let's go give it a shot. You know, if it wasn't wavy, I'd be out there right now. I'd do it. Not lying, I'd do it. Hey, Dingus! Dingus! The port of Corinth, infamous for Paul's departure back to Palestine.
We are at the port of Corinth.
Yes!
The ancient port of Corinth.
Ancient.
Where Paul departed to Palestine.
Woo!
After converting the Jews here in Corinth.
That's right.
Oh, yeah, really? Maybe.
So you don't even notice the
It's
graffiti.
all what you get used to, right?
Yes.
They just
Not
consider it artwork.
religiously, but for us, we're cool about it. I mean, okay, we are not cool when graffiti destroys historical buildings, but we are okay. I mean, the people, not the authorities. We are okay. The children just want to explore their potentials as artists on the walls.
Sure.
In most cases, graffiti is not an indication of a gang or something dangerous.
So we're looking at the ancient Corinth Canal. Check this out. Holy buckets.
Could you imagine taking these?
Holy shnikes.
Okay, but Nero started.
The starting point, yes, there where the little boats are. And he also designed, sculptured his portrait on one of the walls of the canal on the
Really?
left side. Yes, still visible, but unfortunately we will lose it. We will, yeah, lose it.
And the road ran parallel to this.
And exactly, and they started from there. And
This is impressive.
I'm impressed that Nero started.
Go. I'm impressed that Nero started it too. Will he go? Will he not go? What do you think? Uncle Chris and I are gonna go get it in.